wrap up on the show, but certainly you saw that breaker there. We have breaking news for you. Well, JoyNews is picking up information that the police has taken up investigations into suggestions of wrongdoing regarding contracts awarded the Jospon Group of companies, and that the chairman of the group, Joseph Siaw Agypong, would have to appear before the Criminal Investigations Department, the CID. Editor here at JoyNews, Israel Lai, joins me in the studio with this breaking news. Israel, take us through the details.
All right, so what we have is that we have information that the police has actually written to the chairman of the Jospon Group of companies and asking him to appear before it, and it has to do with the latest report that we have been putting out. The piece is done, or the series put together by JoyNews' Manasseh Azuri-Awuni. You know, he's been around the country and he's been investigating these instances of fumigation contracts that have been awarded a number of companies, all belonging to the Jospon Group. There's also the bit about, it essentially has to do with these contracts given out by the local government, the district assemblies and all. So they have been doing, a number of these stories have been going on, but the police has, in fact, at this point, taking up the matter. So from here on, it ceases to be just a news report, making the rounds. So what we know is that the chairman of the Jospon Group of companies has been invited. But in addition to that, we also aware that the police has written to Manasseh Azuri-Awuni, or actually written to Multimedia, so that they would make Manasseh Azuri-Awuni available to come and assist in investigations. So whilst the chairman of the Jospon Group himself has been invited, Manasseh would also be assisting with investigations. And I have the letter here with me. I'm just going to read us through it. So it's the letter is directed to the Chief Operations Officer, Multimedia Group Limited, and it says invitation to assist in police investigations. And so this has to do with the letter written to Multimedia. And it says the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service presents its compliments to the Chief Operations Officer, Multimedia Group Ghana Limited. The Financial Forensic Unit, FFU, of the CID has begun investigations into Joy FM reports aired on Joy FM and its sister stations. The said report allegedly imputed wrongdoing in an award of contract by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development in 2015 and September 2016 or thereabout to some subsidiaries of Jospon Group. The said contracts were for the supply of dustbins and bin liners and also fumigations across the country. So these are the issues, as I indicated earlier, that the police is taking up. It has to do with the reports having to do with the dustbins and bin liners and also the fumigation. Now, we would be grateful if you could release the investigative journalist, Mr. Manasseh Azuri-Awuni, who was mentioned in the above reports, to confer with the Director General CID on Thursday, September 7, 2017 at 2 p.m. It would also be appreciated if you could come with any relevant document, including video and audio recordings relating to the said report to assist in investigations. Should you require any clarification or further information, kindly contact the lead investigator, and his name is given here as Daniel Jamche, and it gives the number, and then we trust that our request will receive your kindest attention. Kindly accept our warmest regards. And it's signed by Ado Dankwa, Mrs. Deputy Director General for the Director General. So that's...
It's very interesting, particularly. I mean, now that we've gone through the details of what's going to happen, it's very interesting that it is happening. It appears to be a very quick follow-up to what the President said about allegations and the fact that it's going to be promptly investigated.
You're right about that.
And for those who are making those allegations, like Manasseh in this particular case, and like Multimedia, I must say, you better be ready to back that up with some evidence.
So once you've put it out, you should be ready to show up and support whatever with whatever evidence that you have available.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Israel. I was going to ask you what you make of it, but I think I'll leave it.
No, we'll leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that. But just so you know, there's also been some directives to the local government ministry, and Elton Brobe will be joining me in the studio with that update. He has all of that information. Elton Brobe is our presidential affairs correspondent, and he has got the information. So Elton is here. Elton, what's happening? Tell us a bit more about what's happening at the local government.
Well, we are picking information from the local government ministry, directing the assemblies in the country to be in readiness to take charge of the provision of sanitary, services in the assemblies. As you may be aware, the Joseph Group, Zoom Lion, a subsidiary of the Joseph Group, has that responsibility. Indeed, they've been providing sanitary services for some of these assemblies.
Due to the contracts that we're talking about, the contracts in question.
Now, what we are picking is that a directive has gone to these assemblies to be in readiness to take charge of this particular, sector of the work that they do, which means that in the coming days, we may hear a formal termination of these contracts and allow the assemblies to, provide the sanitary services that hitherto has been provided by Zoom Lion.
And is there any reasons? Are there any reasons? Are they providing any reasons for this directive, or is it solely because of the story that Manasseh has done?
Unfortunately, the information is not being forthcoming as we expect. But what we do know is that there was a meeting in which the assemblies demonstrated their readiness to take charge of this particular, service, and the ministry is only acting on this. What we are picking is that the assemblies may be asked to employ people to provide these services, and already I'm sure you are aware that under the current arrangements, government pays the service provider, Zoomlion and the others, 500 Ghana cedis. Those who want to take the work itself, they are paid 100 Ghana cedis, according to reports that we've been told, and collaborated by the Just One groups. Now, what we are picking is that the assemblies have been asked to employ their own people to undertake sanitary services and then pay them more than we are being told. So in the days to come, what my source is telling me that a formal communication will come announcing the takeover of the sanitary services by the assemblies.
Okay, well, it sounds like very interesting times ahead, doesn't it? Elton, thank you very much for that information. Elton Bobe is our presidential affairs correspondent there. You also heard Israel previously. So just so you know, this is breaking news coming in. The CID, Criminal Investigating Department, has invited, of course, both the chairman of the Jospon Group of companies and our own Manasseh Awini to look at that issue that has been raised in, over that story that Manasseh did about robbing the assemblies. And this is where we can confidently wrap up. But you can log on to myjoyonline.com for more news and information.